Welcome back to The Line. The Albuquerque City Council is considering a significant increase in funding for the next mayor's race. The proposal is to provide about $630,000 for each candidate that qualifies for public financing. That's important. In the last election, only about $362,000 was available to each candidate. The next mayor's race, of course, will be next year. And Eddie, this is designed, I'm going to guess, we're talking about parity here, because what looms over this is the idea of the last mayor's race. The current mayor, Mayor Berry, he did not take public financing, but he had about $850,000 to work with versus Pete Dinelli and Paul Hayes, $360,000.
Right.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Does this help close that gap? Does this make sense to you to close that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So what they're asking for is going from $1 to $1.75. It's based upon the previous per voter.
Per voter, right.
But it's based upon the previous turnout for the election. So
right.
It certainly needs to be more competitive. I mean, Pete Dinelli got completely blown out. He only had $340,000, not $362,000.
That's right.
And the amount and the proportion of the cash that was raised by Mayor Berry, which had a much longer timeline versus Pete Dinelli, which is much shorter. Right. And
that's
to
important.
be quite honest, personally, I agree with more of Mayor Berry's politics than I do with Pete Dinelli. But it wasn't a fair race. I mean, 19% turnout. The media that got out there. The guy did not have a chance once he decided, and he raised all those signatures. Right. So I think what this would do, and I hope the City Council passes it and makes it happen, is it's going to make a more competitive race. Many people possibly didn't turn out because they just knew it wasn't going to be that competitive. Dinelli was completely invisible, and the same proportion of cash to that was raised,
sure.
Pete Dinelli to Mayor Berry was the same proportion that he lost by. Money matters in politics.
That's right. That's right.
And it can't just be a blue chippers game.
That's right. Well said there at the end there. Vicki, do me a favor. Take about a minute to take us back in time a little bit, how this all started. What was the idea behind public financing in the first place? Did we solve a problem that needed to be solved, and where are we now with this?
It's very interesting. So the voters in Albuquerque back in 2005 passed this public financing system by 68.9%.
Right.
So it was a big win.
That's right.
And everybody was taking it. I mean, Republicans, Democrats, Mayor Berry took it his first time around.
Good reminder.
We have Republican councilors who've used it several times now. And so it wasn't a partisan issue. And what happened under the old system is you got $1 per registered voter. If you qualified, you have to raise signatures and $5 contributions. And then let's say you had a privately financed candidate in your race who outspent you, like we just said with Mayor Berry and Pete Dinelli. The old system would trigger more funds to that publicly financed candidate.
Gotcha.
So we've had a couple court cases. First, obviously, Citizens United in 2010, which equated money with speech, followed up by a second court case called the Arizona Free Enterprise case, which affirmed public financing and said it's totally constitutional, except for the matching fund part. Because think about it, if you're a privately financed candidate, you're taking in all these contributions or speech. Why would we just give free speech to this other guy? So for several years now, people around the country have been working on ways to fix it, doing a matching system possibly in some places where the publicly financed candidate can raise small amounts of money and that be matched by the fund. And so we have been working on this at Common Cause, obviously. And so this is the proposal that Don Harris, a Republican, Pat Davis, a Democrat, have come together. And I just, it's not going to increase the amount of money the city puts into the program. It's already capped at a certain amount, so it's not going to expand it. It's not going to cost more money. It's just going to fix it, and it's just one piece of the puzzle. Public financing isn't going to fix everything because we can't stop the PACs.
That's right.
But it is one piece of the puzzle to make it a more even playing field, which is kind of funny because the Supreme Court has specifically said public financing can't be to level the playing field. Of course, we know how crazy the Supreme Court is.
Thank you.
You just led to my next question. And Marcia, interestingly, when you think about it, all right, Mayor Berry, chose, there could be another Mayor Berry, what I want to get to, who chooses not to do this. Let's say he raises $1.5 million, decides this race is worth $1.5 million, and his supporters decide it's worth $1.5 million. We're really no closer as a percentage now, suddenly. Do you see what I mean? Suddenly, it's still kind of a wipeout financially.
Definitely, and I mean, if we look back at the last mayoral race, it was truly set up to be a David versus Goliath. I mean, when we're talking about somewhere in the ballpark of a $350,000 campaign compared to an $850,000 or more campaign, it's just not comparable. So, but what I think that this does show us is that we are at a different place right now, especially when we've got folks from different sides of the aisle. We have Democrat Councilor Pat Davis, Republican Councilor Don Harris, working together across the aisle to attempt to get some money out of politics in the city of Albuquerque. You know, as a country, we might still need a little bit more work to get rid of Citizens United, but at least what this shows us is here in Albuquerque, we're ready to start addressing this. We're ready to get some money out of politics because we need to. It's more important for the voters to understand what candidates stand for and what they're going to choose to fight for and change in our community, as opposed to hearing about the next quarterly campaign budget.
And on that point
Please.
too, much of that money comes from outside. You know, Mayor Berry was not geographically restricted in terms of where he could take it, and he could take the money however he wanted to. Pete Donnelly couldn't even do an electronic transaction. They need to implement that portion of this in order for them to get there. I mean, how many people are running around with $5 in their pockets?
Right, that's a good point. It's a good point. It's a very good point. You know, Tom, I'm still on this idea of comparing money and what it does for you. And it seems to me if you have $8.50 to spend in this marketplace, unless you really screw it up, you know, that's a huge advantage, a major advantage. So I go back to my question with Marcia. What happens if the next person decides $1.2 million or $1.5 million is going to get it done? Is there anything to be done about that? Because that encourages what Eddie said earlier, the blue chip approach. Those that can go to the big money, big donors and say, I need your help.
Well, you can only control what you can control, right? So if a candidate goes in and they know that they have, you know, $630,000 available, you can do a lot of good stuff as far as reaching the Albuquerque specific target markets with that particular item, with that amount. When you start looking at the haves and have-nots, you know, like, oh my gosh, that person's raising 1.3 or 2 million or 5 million. It really comes down to, you know, I think we've seen through digital media, through grassroots campaigns, that you don't need to spend $5 million. It helps, yeah. But you know what? With $630,000, yeah, you can run a very effective campaign. It's all about making sure that your base gets out. So if you get $630,000 to get your base out, and you break that down with the number of voters who have been, you know, showing up at the mayoral elections, you can make some great impacts. You probably won't win class president, but you will win the city council seat.
What you mentioned sort of in passing, you know, part of the strategy is earned media and other types of media that you can get out there. Is the socially connected world, does that make up for some of that money? Does that make a difference? Am I looking at this from an old point of view? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the traditional rules of, you know, really blanketing, you know, billboards, broadcast advertising, though it's not as important as we've seen here in New Mexico. You know, the explosion and persistent consistency of social digital media in our marketplace is really displacing, no offense to everyone at the table, including KNME, but it's displacing the whole media marketplace. And so, you know, that is an area, but it's just one part of the equation. You need to make sure you have a comprehensive campaign that includes all those different elements to talk to your base and to motivate them to say, get out on election day.
Fair enough.
And that's what public financing allows people to do. You are not spending your time raising money all day long. You're out talking to the voters, getting their signatures, asking for a $5 contribution.
Or 2 years raising money, you know.
Well, I mean,
proceeding.
we've seen it over and over again, and our Congress literally spends 5 hours a day dialing for dollars.
Got to run. My fault. That's all the time we have. See you next week. I'm Gene Grant. Thanks for joining us this week. And you can join us live on Tuesday, June 7th for coverage of the New Mexico primary elections. New Mexico PBS is partnering with KUNM on election night coverage. Tune in online for our live stream beginning at 7 in the evening and on channel 9.1 from 9 to 10 that night. Find more details online at newmexicoinfocus.org. And as always, we appreciate your time and effort to stay informed and engaged. See you next week in Focus.
Funding for New Mexico in Focus provided by the McCune Charitable Foundation and the Nalita E. Walker Fund for KNME-TV, the KNME-TV Endowment Fund, and viewers like you.